happen for you as well.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sayant, are you there? Sayant? Sayant, are you there? Okay. Damini, how many people are yet to join?
Hi, Divya. I think there's an error in my name while I was logging. It's Sayoni, double E at the end. And I just graduated. I just did my BTech in computer science, and I'm going for my master's in data science to London School of Economics and Political Science.
Okay, all right. Great. That's amazing. So, guys, today I'm going to take your session on ratios. I believe that some of you do have a finance background and some of you don't, and it's a mix of everything. So, what I'll do is I'll start with the very, very basic. Those who already know some of the basics should bear with that so that everybody is on the same page. I just want to ask you one thing, that can you see my screen? Can you all see my screen? I have the ratios PPT. Can you all see it?
Yes.
Okay. So can you all just tell me very quickly that what does ratios mean according to you? I mean, I'm not asking you for an accounting terminology meaning. I'm just asking you what do you as a layman think that the term ratio means? I'll just keep looking at the chat in case you guys are typing there. Guys, I'm still waiting. What do you mean by the term ratio? Yes, Aditya, don't worry. I'm going to start from zero. Don't worry. Okay. So now can you all please tell me what do you mean by the term ratio? You all can type it on chat if you guys want. Relationship between two numbers. Okay, yes. So you can say that it indicates how many times one number is of another, or how much quantity is one in comparison to the other, right? So basically you can actually say that it is a measurement or of a quotient of two quantities, right? Okay, great. So guys, when you talk about having experience in finance or wanting a job in finance, all of that, right? I will just ask you a very basic question in accounting, that why do you think any prudent person, any rational person would invest in a business?
To earn money, to earn profits.
Yes. So do you think that a company which is earning revenues and no profits is an ideal investment for any prudent person?
No, ma'am. The ideal objective of every business is to earn profit.
Yes. Okay. So I have an example where I'm going to ask you guys. Tell me one thing, which company do you think is doing better? Okay, I hope you guys can see the Excel sheet.
Yes, we can.
Okay. Can you tell me which company is doing better? Hello.
Obviously, ma'am, company B is
Guys,
doing better. Company B is doing
okay.
better.
Why is company B doing better than company A? Company B is doing better than company A because company B has
More profits.
higher profit in comparison to company A. All right. But now
Mm-hmm.
I'll
But it depending on the amount that they
whenever
invest in their business.
yes. So now, if the moment I enter this, which company do you think now is doing better? If
Company
I am
A.
a shareholder, which company am I more like? Yes. So, the moment you rationalize this, you understood the concept of ratio. How? Because you compared what is the return on investment which company A has and what is the return on investment which company B has. So, when you were looking at only the profits, you were saying, yes, as an investor, I would want to invest in company B. But you want to understand that one single number cannot denote anything meaningful. Why? Because the moment you have something to make a comparison of, your your rationale changes. Why? Because the moment you saw this, you realized that a profit of rupees 10 on an investment of rupees 10 is more of an ideal scenario than profit of rupees 20 on an investment of rupees 1000, right? So what are we trying to measure here? We're trying to measure what is the return on investment or what is the return on net worth. All right, basically how many rupees of profit a company is generating with each rupee of the shareholders investment. How did we calculate it? We calculated it by dividing the profit with the investment, right? So return on equity is also known as return on net worth. But I would want to tell you one thing, that return on equity is a very, very closely watched number by multiple investors, because naturally this denotes how much profit any company or organization is making in comparison to the investment. But DuPont analysis, has anybody heard of the term DuPont analysis? Guys, are you writing on chat? Because I have not been reading. Can you all please make this more interactive? Has anybody heard of DuPont analysis?
I have heard of DuPont analysis, but I'm not clear with the concept.
Yes, ma'am, have heard of it.
Okay. Okay. So DuPont analysis basically breaks down your three components of return on equity. Guys, I am going to be teaching you everything relating to the PPT only, but I may keep writing on Excel so that this is more interactive. All right. So return on equity, the term DuPont actually comes from a DuPont company which began using this particular formula around in 1920. And it was actually developed by a salesman there called Donaldson Brown. So can anybody tell me, what do you think are the three components of return on equity?
The capital appreciation.
Sorry, what did you say? So guys, I think one more thing before we proceed in this session is that do not be afraid of being wrong. Do not be afraid of being confused and answering incorrectly. The moment you answer incorrectly and I am able to correct you, you will remember that for life, and that will be a lesson from this session. All right. So please make this interactive. Go wrong, go right, whatever, but just make this interactive. All right. So can anybody tell me what are the three components of return on equity?
First is the
First,
appreciation of
everybody
capital.
Okay, for 1 second. First, everybody knows the formula of return of equity, right? It is net income divided by shareholders equity, right? Now tell me one thing. Yeah, who was answering regarding the three elements of return on equity by DuPont?
First is, could be capital appreciation.
Capital appreciation, no.
Then dividends.
Could it?
That we earn.
So basically three measures through which are basically, there are three important measures into which return on equity is broken down. One being profitability. Please feel free to write everything you guys want to write. Always write down the formulas on a different sheet of paper. So guys, while you make notes, always remember to write down the formulas either towards the end of your register or on a different sheet, so that when you start practicing, you have your formulas handy. And if you guys want to revise, then you should, have it at one place. All right. So the three measures that DuPont broke return on equity into, one was profitability, one was asset use efficiency, and one is financial leverage. Everybody knows what profitability is. So the profitability measure is actually calculated with the help of net profit margin ratio. We will be doing everything in detail, just beginning right now. All right. Then asset use efficiency. Asset use efficiency is measured by asset turnover ratio. And your financial leverage is measured by equity multiplier. Now, very basic question. What is the meaning of leverage? Guys,
Ma'am,
what do you think?
in financial
Yes.
terms, leverage means debt used by the company to elevate the
Yes.
return
So
to shareholders.
okay, yes. So I would want to ask you one thing when you explain this concept, which was right, it means involving debt, in the capital of a company, apart from the equity that is already there. What I want to ask you is that do you think taking debt or is a bad thing for any company?
Until the time it is able to use its debt to increase the shareholders' return, then till then that is fine for the company.
So if a company is taking debt, it in no way means that the company is doing bad. It in no way means that the company is in losses. It in no way means that the company has no money. These are all myths. Having debt in the capital of a company is not a bad thing as long as the company's risk-taking ability, as long as the company has the ability to return the amount of debt it takes, make better use of the debt it takes, and maximizes the return for the company as well as the shareholders. As long as all of these things are satisfied, taking debt for a company is not a bad thing. Just think of it as a normal scenario that as an individual, once you guys are working, you guys are earning. If tomorrow, say for instance, you take a home loan or you take a car loan, that is not a bad thing, right? You're building an asset with it. So just like you are building an asset for yourself by taking an XYZ amount of loan, similarly, if a company that in no way means that a person has no money. A lot of people who are doing well take home loans, take car loans. Why? Not, it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that they don't have money in it, which is sufficient enough to, fund that particular car. It's only that they feel that that is a wiser choice to make. So just like that for a particular company, if a company is taking X amount of debt in its capital, instead of, taking in more equity shareholders, this is not a bad thing. All right. So now one thing I want to know is that everybody has seen a profit and loss account and a balance sheet. What is the link between the P&L and balance sheet that DuPont wanted to draw through these three measures? What was DuPont trying to link between the profit and loss and balance sheet by these three measures? Can any of you explain? So the first thing that DuPont wanted to understand was that how would the equity get converted into assets? Then how would the assets get converted into revenue? And then how the revenue would get converted into profit? What I mean to say is once there is an equity investment in a company, how efficiently is that equity investment being used to purchase the assets that are of use to the company? Then how efficiently are those assets being used by the company to generate revenue? Then how efficiently is the revenue being generated or being converted into profit? There can be many companies who are earning a lot of revenue but are still not earning enough profits or are into losses. All right. So always understand the difference between the term revenue and profit. One thing I'd like to tell you is that the net profit margin formula everybody knows is net income divided by sales. If you guys don't know, don't worry. I'm going to explain everything ahead in this session. The formula of asset turnover ratio is nothing but sales divided by total assets. And your equity multiplier, wait, let me not write it like this. Just sales divided by total assets. Okay. Sales divided by total assets. And this is total assets divided by equity. All right. Now, if you see the conclusion of these three formulas, once you have net income divided by sales, multiplied with sales divided by total assets, multiplied with total assets divided by equity, ultimately, what do you actually get? You ultimately get this formula, which is net income divided by equity, which is nothing but return on equity. Got it? So, when DuPont broke down these three formulas, the ultimate formula remained consistent, which was net income divided by shareholders' equity. But to understand any XYZ corporation better, and through these three measures, which was net profit margin ratio, asset turnover ratio, and equity multiplier, he divided this formula in such a way that the ultimate conclusion is the same, but the analysis will be much better. All right. So, basis this formula, can anyone tell me if I want to increase the return on equity of my company, how will I increase the return on equity? Mathematically only you can see through this formula. How do you think I will increase the return on equity? Guys, I'm waiting.
By generating more profits.
Yes, by generating more profits, which means by having a high net profit margin ratio, or by better utilization of assets, or by higher financial leverage, right? So that is the way of increasing your return on equity. Now, before we proceed further, for those who don't understand the difference between revenue and profit, can anybody tell me what do you mean by revenue? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by the term revenue for any company? Can anyone tell me what do you mean by the term revenue?
So revenue is the income earned by a company from sale of goods that it manufactures or the services that it provides.
Yes, so basically revenue means any income generated by a particular company by the services it provides, or by the goods it sells, or by anything, by whatever the main operation of that particular company is. That is the revenue that is generated for that particular company. So what will it be? It will be revenue. Sorry. Now, say a company generated revenue of X amount by, say, providing IT services or whatever. Now, the company will have certain variable expenses. Everybody understands what variable expenses mean. What is variable expenses? Guys, what is variable? What is the difference between a variable and a fixed expense?
Expenses that varies with the level of activity.
Yes. Can you give me a few examples? Guys, why is that
Like
only one person is answering? I am very happy that Sahil is answering everything, but is everybody else sleeping? I am just going to pick up anyone now and have that person answer if you guys are not going to be interactive. Tell me what do you, okay, I'll have Isha. Isha Mehta, tell me what do you mean by variable expenses, and can you give me a few examples also? See, guys, honestly, I can just teach you one ratio after the other and make you write down formulas and do questions. But I am also going into these very basic concepts ताकि आपके कोई concepts गलत ना रहे अपने mind में. So please support me and start being more involved in the session. Isha, can you tell me what do you mean by a variable expense? Can you give me an example also? मैं आपको कोई definition financial terms में नहीं बोलती, आपको variable term से ही समझ आना चाहिए, something that varies. Isha, are you there? Isha is not answering. Okay, I'll have Aditya Singh answer. What do you mean by
Yes, ma'am.
variable expenses? Yeah, what do you
Ma'am,
mean by variable expenses?
Then variable expenses are those expenses that changes means the proportion of which the changes with time. Like they keeps on falling or rising. We can take that.
Yes. So basically,
Like-
it changes with the level of activity, right?
Yes.
It changes
Yes,
with the
for
level of
example-
output or activity. That is a variable expense. Can you give
Like
me an
we-
example of?
Yeah,
Can you
like,
give me an example?
labor charges that we give again like any
So there is a
deliver-
difference. You can see that the labor wages that you give
Correct.
are variable, but the salaries that you give are fixed.
fixed. Yes.
So there is a difference.
Wages, yes, ma'am. Wages or like any freight charges or any supply charges.
Yeah, all of that is variable, but your salaries are fixed expenses, right? So, like she explained, that variable expense is an expense which varies with the level of output. Example can be the freight charges or the direct wages. Can you tell me what are fixed expenses, and can you give me example of that?
Ma'am, I should answer.
Yeah.
Okay. Which stay fixed with the time till the means if the company is manufacturing or providing services. So the amount which remains fixed. As you given the example of salary, the salaries keep on fixed with the time.
Yes. Then there can be rent. Rent is a fixed expense. Electricity
Yes,
is a fixed
any
expense.
utility
Your
bill.
Can I try?
Yeah,
Any
please
loan
go
amount
ahead.
any loan amount the company takes, then they should they have to pay with the
Can you
time.
tell me,
So the fixed
do
amount.
you think commission is a fixed expense or a commission is a
no.
variable expense?
Variable.
Right, commission is a variable expense. Yeah, you wanted to say something, Sahil?
Ma'am, the expenses which are directly used in conversion of raw material into finish can be summed up in a variable expense, and the expenses
Yeah.
which cannot be, which are which cannot be
You're saying that your cost of goods sold is a variable expense, and your expenses apart from cost of goods sold are fixed expenses. That's not true. Your commission doesn't form part of the cost of goods sold but is a variable expense. Then in many cases, electricity also becomes a semi-variable expense, because in many places the base rate may be constant, but as the production grows, power consumption changes, sometimes the electricity becomes a semi-variable expense. So I understand the concept that your cost of raw material, your direct labor wages, your freight and all, I understand is a variable expense, but it is not an exhaustive list, and it cannot be said कि इसके अलावा बाकी सारे fixed हैं. All right. So there are exceptions to that also. So when you think of an expense, analyze each expense की वो variable है या fixed है. Don't generalize कि इनके अलावा बाकी सारे आके जैसे for example office stationery, that is a variable expense. That doesn't form part of your cost of goods sold, but is still a variable expense. All right. Okay. So my logic of explaining this was only that you subtract your revenue. I'm giving you a very general understanding of everything. You subtract your variable and your fixed expenses from this revenue. Okay. Then you subtract, your interest costs, your taxes, and then you get your. All right. So now everybody knows what is the difference between revenue and what is the difference between revenue and profit. So how will you calculate your net profit margin ratio? your net profit margin ratio will be nothing but net profit divided by sales into 100. Guys, please keep noting down the formula. Net profit margin ratio is nothing but the revenue that remains after subtracting all of these expenses. All right. It is actually an indicator of how well the company is managing its revenue and how well is the company controlling its costs. All right. The next ratio that we are going to talk about, please stop me if I'm going very fast, and please keep noting down everything. Sorry, I've missed a lot of chat messages. Labor cost of raw material, yes. Rent, depreciation, yes. So Kanksha, electricity generally is considered to be a fixed expense, but in some cases when there are slabs and the base rate remains constant and after that it is variable basis the consumption, then it becomes a semi-variable expense. All right. No, Isha,
Hello, ma'am.
yeah.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
in service industry, you can say that electricity could be a fixed expense, but in manufacturing industries, it is a variable.
Yeah,
Is
but
it that?
that's what I'm saying. So that's what I'm saying, Sahil, that every expense may be different for a different industry. For example, मैं आपको बताती हूँ कि जब मैं आप everybody knows what is profit before tax, what is profit before interest and tax, all of those things everybody knows ना. What I'll say is जब बहुत लोग कहते हैं ना कि when you prepare a P&L, say I am a company manufacturing of garments, okay. For me, if I generate some sort of interest income or I have some sort of interest expense, for instance, मेरे को interest income आ रही है मेरी investment से, वो मेरी main operation, right? That is not my revenue from operations. That is my other income. Why is that my other income? Because that is not the amount of revenue or income that I'm generating from my main operations, right? But अगर मैं bank होती हूँ, so then interest becomes my main revenue, forms part of my main revenue from operations, right? So what I'm trying to say is कि जब आप एक terminology use करते हो ना, electricity, revenue, कोई भी मतलब expense हो, income हो, कुछ भी हो, always analyze it basis the situation कि वो उस situation में fixed रहेगा या उस situation में variable है या ये पर्टिकुलर इनकम अदर इनकम है या एक पर्टिकुलर इनकम मेन रेवेन्यू है कि नहीं. डोंट जनरलाइज. ऑफ कोर्स इफ यू से कि इन जनरल rent is fixed, electricity is fixed, yes, but not in all cases. All right. So जब भी कोई क्वेश्चन आता है प्लीज रीड इट इन लेंथ टू अंडरस्टैंड कि इसमें आपके पर्टिकुलर एक्सपेंस और इनकम क्या किस नेचर के हैं. ठीक है. नाउ नेक्स्ट रेशियो दैट वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट इज एसेट टर्नओवर रेशियो, where we talk about nothing but how effectively any company is managing the assets that it has. Okay. If a company say has 100 rupees and it purchases, obviously it will purchase certain assets to generate revenue, right? So what this ratio wants to indicate is कि company ने कितने efficiently उन assets को use किया है जो उनके पास थे to generate revenue. Because there may be companies who end up making redundant investments in assets which are of no use. All right. So what I'm trying to say is that this asset turnover ratio indicates how efficiently assets are being utilized in generating revenue. Now, asset turnover ratio can be of two types. One can be the fixed assets turnover. One can be the working capital turnover ratio. Wait, can anyone tell me working capital का क्या मतलब होता है? Guys, are you guys writing on chat? Can anyone tell me what is working capital? Again, nobody's answering. I'll just pick someone. Sahil, yes, it is excess of current assets over current liabilities, but that is the formula. I want to know what is the meaning of working capital. Dipali, why don't you tell me? What do you mean by working capital? इनको क्यों डिवाइड कर रही हूँ इस रेशियो को, एसेट टर्नओवर रेशियो को, दो पार्ट्स में? दीपाली, हाय.
Hi.
Yes.
It
Yeah,
can
hi,
be,
Dipali.
it can be, I guess, raw materials and finished goods, which counted as working capital.
You're saying that raw material and finished goods are your working capital. I'm just Dipali.
Yes, yes, as per me, but I'm not
Okay.
sure.
So okay, well, no problem. So I'll correct you. Basically, see, working capital और fixed asset turnover में इनको मैं इसमें दो चीजों में इसलिए divide कर रही हूँ because fixed assets are generally your long term assets, right? I mean, आप रोज जाके प्लांट और मशीनरी तो नहीं खरीदेंगे ना. They have a longer useful life. In comparison to your working capital में जो current assets आते हैं. So working capital actually is that capital of a business जो day to day operations के लिए use होता है. वो current assets minus current liabilities. Yes, the formula is current assets minus current liabilities, but basically working capital is that money that is used to cover a company's short term expenses. जैसे अपने current liabilities हो गए, and when you want to see that the working capital is positive, which means current assets minus current liabilities, you want to understand कि company के पास अपने short term assets इतने enough थे ना कि वो उनकी short term liabilities को meet कर पाए कि नहीं. Alright, so working capital is nothing but the capital that is needed to run day-to-day operations of a particular company. Yes, Isha, you're right. Money, we have, yes, Nikita, you're right. All right. So, working capital ratio can be calculated by saying that it is receivable turnover plus inventory turnover minus payables turnover. Guys, I think I have not shown you the slides at all. So let me tell you कि मैं आपको यहीं से पढ़ा रही हूँ. This is what all we have covered, wherein we spoke about return on net worth, return on equity. We spoke about the three aspects of return on equity. We spoke about the DuPont formula. We spoke about revenue and net profit. We spoke about, now we've reached the fixed asset and the working capital turnover ratio. If you want to note down the formula, then please note it down. Next ratio that we talk about is nothing but your equity multiplier. I've already told you the formula when I started. It is nothing but assets divided by equity. It actually does nothing but it measures the financial leverage, which basically means by comparing total assets of a firm to the firm's shareholders' equity, it indicates whether any company finances the purchase of assets through debt or equity. All right. So higher the equity multiplier, higher the leverage. Higher the leverage का मतलब ये होता है कि ज़्यादा debt use हुई है एक particular company में. Now, once DuPont, split this formula into three parts for better understanding of a company's performance, I will ask you one question. Can you tell me, there is a company, say, which has ROE, there is a company X, and there is a company Y. Okay. Now, both the companies have the same ROE, which is 45%. So according to you, both the companies are doing the same, right? So if you have to choose between the two companies as a potential investment, आप तो indifferent होंगे, you'll be like any company is okay with me. But the moment I tell you that the profit margin ratio of company X is 30% and company Y is 15%, the asset turnover ratio of company X is 1 and company Y is 3. And the financial leverage of company X is this and company Y is this. Your decision making changes. Why? Because you understand that when you look at it from a perspective of profit, company X has been utilizing its has been controlling its cost well, has been generating more profits than company Y. When you look at asset efficiency of both the companies, you realize that company Y has a better utilization of assets than company X. And when you look at financial leverage, you understand that company X in comparison to company Y is more risky because it has more debt in its capital in comparison to company Y. So what I'm trying to explain to you is that ratio analysis helps, it gives context to numbers. All right, ठीक है, न्यूमेरिकल रिलेशनशिप होती है दो नंबर्स के बीच में, बट इट मेक्स यू एनालाइज द परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ अ कंपनी मच बेटर एंड मेक बेटर डिसीजंस रिगार्डिंग इन्वेस्टमेंट्स through calculation of ratios. All right. So, what are the basic objectives of calculating and performing ratio analysis? Obviously, you understand whether a particular investment is risky or not. You can compare the performance of companies within the same industry. You can evaluate a company's performance with the past performance. अगर आपने कोई ratio, for instance, I am in, and it's not only from the point of view of investment. अगर आप employee हैं, अगर आप shareholder हैं, मतलब if you're, there are various stakeholders who are interested in the performance of a company, not only the investors. So everybody can make use of these ratios. How? Say I am in the production department. If I understand that, I am not controlling the costs, manufacturing costs well, it will be depicted in the ratios, and I can understand कि year on year जब मैं ratios को compare करूंगी तो किस साल में मेरी cost controlling अच्छी रही है, किस साल में अच्छी नहीं रही है. So ratios, see, absolute numbers से किसी को कुछ समझ नहीं आता. If I just say कि profit 10 है, that's an absolute number. आपको समझ ही नहीं आएगा कि 10 है तो किस पे 10 है. 10 है इन्वेस्टमेंट, 10 की थी तो 10 प्रॉफिट है, तो आपको समझ आएगा ओके दिस इज इम्प्रेसिव. बट एब्सोल्यूट नंबर्स आर नॉट गुड इनफ टू अंडरस्टैंड फाइनेंशियल मेट्रिक्स. ये आप हमेशा याद रखिएगा. रेशियोज एक्सप्लेन कि ये जो न्यूमेरिकल रिलेशनशिप होती है वन फाइनेंशियल वेरिएबल विद अनदर, इट गिव्स कॉन्टेक्स्ट टू दैट रिलेशनशिप. So everybody uses ratios, whether it is managers, whether it is your banks while giving loans, whether it is your creditors, whether it is your stock analysts, whether it is your employees. Employees are interested भाई कि company अच्छा करेगी तभी तो bonus मिलेगा, right? So there are multiple stakeholders of every company who are interested in ratio analysis. So in this session, we are going to talk about profitability, activity, liquidity, and solvency ratios. Under profitability, we are going to talk about margin and return ratios. Under activity, we are going to talk about turnover. Under activity, we are going to talk about turnover ratio. Under liquidity, we are going to talk about cash management and working capital ratio. And under solvency, we are going to talk about capital structure and coverage ratios. Guys, I hope you have not got bored and you are listening to what I'm saying. We'll take a quick 5 minutes break for everybody to have water and come back, and then we'll start again. So 8:44 हो रहे हैं, 8:50 पे let's start all over again. ठीक है? 5 minutes break.
Ma'am, can you share your slide? The last slide that you were showing.
Yeah. Don't worry. After this 5 minutes, मैं आपको और 5 मिनट दूंगी ये लिखने के लिए. ठीक है? I'm here. I'm putting my.
Ma'am, please share the slide of working capital, that formulas part.
Don't worry, I'll make you do all ratios in detail. I just write down this table कि हम ये सब आज नहीं, we'll cover in the entire ratio session.
Okay.
Hi, Sayuni, can you hear me? Sayuni, are you there?
Alright, guys, let's start again. I hope everybody is back. Let's start again.
Can you please tell Sayuni to mute herself? We can hear the noise from the side.
Okay, Saloni, can you please mute? I have mute. I'm trying to. Saloni, can you please mute yourself? Saloni? Sayoni, can you please mute yourself? Okay, she has. Okay, so guys, can you all have noted down this table, right? So now we're going to talk about two kinds of ratios under profitability ratios, which is margin ratio and return ratio. All right. So guys, you all know that margin ratio basically relates profits and sales and actually reflects the amount of sales that are converted into profits by a company. Everybody understands the P&L components, right? Basic P&L components की terms सबको समझ आती हैं, wherein I say revenue या gross profit या EBITDA, ये सारे terms सबको समझ आते हैं कि मैं explain करूँ. Everybody knows कि revenue से जब हम cost of goods sold minus करते हैं तो हमें क्या आता है? We get gross profit when we subtract your operating expenses from gross profit. You get EBITDA. EBITDA is nothing but earning before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. So जब हम यहाँ से depreciation and amortization minus करते हैं तो हमारा क्या आता है? We get EBIT. EBIT is nothing but in earning before interest and taxes. जब हम यहाँ से interest subtract करते हैं, we get EBT, which is EBT or PBT, which is profit before tax. And then after we subtract taxes, we get your PAT, which is profit after tax. All right, any confusion, guys? These are the P&L components which are important for you all to know while we calculate these two ratios. So under profitability ratios, we are going to talk about your gross margin ratio. We're going to talk about your operating margin ratio. And we're going to talk
Hello,
about
ma'am.
net profit ratio.
Hello, ma'am.
Yeah, tell me.
Ma'am, can you add a line item of non-operating expenses under interest expense so that it?
Yes, interest and your non-operating. So when we talk about these ratios, which is your gross margin ratio, operating profit, and net margin ratios, can you all tell me what is the difference between each of these ratios? Gross margin ratio is the ratio basically which calculates the percentage of sales or your revenue which exceed your cost of goods sold. So your gross profit ratio is nothing but gross profit divided by sales. Your operating profit rate. Can anybody tell me ये gross profit कैसे आया? We subtracted cost of goods sold from your revenue. Can anybody tell me cost of goods sold का क्या मतलब होता है? This is a very important ratio in manufacturing industries. Can you all tell me कि इसका what is the meaning of cost of goods sold?
Ma'am, can I try?
Yeah, please.
Cost of goods sold is the direct cost which is incurred in converting raw material of semi-finished goods into finished goods so that the revenue can be realized from them.
Absolutely right. So जैसे मैंने आपको कहा कि फॉर एग्जांपल मेरी कंपनी गारमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करती है, तो जो मेरे खर्चे उस गारमेंट को रॉ मटेरियल को एक्चुअली गारमेंट में कन्वर्ट करने के लिए होते हैं, दैट इज योर कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड. बट वो खर्चे जो उन्हें बेचने एटसेट्रा अदर मिसलेनियस चीजों में होते हैं, दे आर नॉट फॉर्मिंग पार्ट ऑफ माई कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड सोल्ड. तो मुझे कोई बताएगा कि एम्प्लॉय सैलरीज को मैं या मार्केटिंग एक्सपेंस को मैं कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड सोल्ड में डालूंगी कि नहीं? Can anyone tell me?
Can you please come again?
मेरे एम्प्लॉय सैलरीज या ऑफिस स्टेशनरी या मार्केटिंग एक्सपेंस या टैक्स एक्सपेंस या इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस ये मेरे कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड सोल्ड हैं कि नहीं?
No, ma'am.
Absolutely right. Your cost of goods sold is nothing but your opening stock plus your purchases plus your direct expenses minus your closing stock. All right. So आपके जो डायरेक्ट वेजेस होते हैं, जो फ्रेट एक्सपेंसेस होते हैं, जो एक्सपेंसेस बेसिकली कन्वर्ट करने में important होते हैं from raw material to your finished goods, those expenses are your cost of goods sold. और gross profit margin actually revenue minus cost of goods sold जो हमारा gross profit है उसको as a percentage of sales measure करता है. But इसकी limitation क्या है कि ये सिर्फ gross profit तक के खर्चे इंक्लूड करता है. मतलब कि आपके टैक्सेस, आपकी बाकी इनडायरेक्ट एक्सपेंसेस वगैरह इसमें कवर नहीं होते हैं. So a company may have very high gross profit margin, but may have very low net profit or operating profit margin. क्योंकि उस कंपनी ने बाकी जो एक्सपेंसेस थे वो अभी तक सब्ट्रैक्ट करे ही नहीं है. So I'm giving you an example of gross profit margin. आप प्लीज इसको सॉल्व करिए. एग्जाम्पल 1. You have total sales of 10 lakhs. Your cost of goods sold is 3,50,000. Your rent is 1 lakh. Your utility expense is 10,000. Your direct wages are 40,000. Your office expenses are 2,500. What is your
Ma'am,
gross? Anji.
the way you
Hello.
wrote COGS
Yeah.
at 350 and then you are writing dead wages, it would create a confusion, right? So doesn't that COGS include direct wages?
So that is why I have written this, Sahil, so that this creates a confusion.
Okay.
Can you all tell me what is the answer of your gross profit margin ratio? Sahil has already pointed out the thing that I wanted to confuse you all with. But let me see who all actually get confused and who all don't. Sahil, next time let everybody also practice and then answer. All right?
Hello.
Hello. Yeah.
Yeah, ma'am, can you please repeat all the above things again? Actually, I lost my internet connection, so I was not able to listen anything.
From where?
Just after break, you started from where?
Okay, no problem. No problem. I'll start. So basically, after the break, I just spoke about the fact that we are going to start with profitability ratios, under which I spoke about P&L components, which are revenue, cost of goods sold, gross profit, operating expenses, depreciation, amortization, interest and non-operating expenses, taxes, and the different kind of profits that one arrives at after subtracting these expenses from revenue. So the moment you subtract cost of goods sold from revenue, you have gross profit. Once you subtract your operating expenses, you have EBITDA. EBITDA is nothing but earning before interest, tax, depreciation, and amortization. Then after that, once you subtract depreciation and amortization, you have EBIT, which is nothing but your operating income. After that, once you subtract your interest and other non-operating expenses, you arrive at profit before tax or earning before tax. And then once you subtract tax, you have profit after tax. All right. This will help you in calculating
Okay.
various ratios. So then I divided the ratios into three, which I'm going to teach you right now, which are gross margin, operating margin, and net profit margin ratio. I just started with gross profit margin ratio, which is nothing but gross profit divided by sales. So I said that gross profit is arrived at by subtracting cost of goods sold from revenue, and cost of goods sold is nothing but the direct expenses that are incurred in converting the raw material into your finished good. All right. So here I ask everybody to calculate the gross profit margin ratio. And
Oh,
Sahil, I will ask someone else because guys, I feel that this is a session between me and Sahil, and everybody else is silent. So
thank
Sahil,
you.
keep
Gross
it up and
profit
encourage
is,
everybody else also to be like you. Yeah.
hello.
Tell me, Aditya. Yeah, Aditya. Please tell me.
Ma'am, his gross profit is 6,50,000.
Okay, which is correct. So guys, when I wrote this direct wages, the intent of writing this direct wages was to confuse you because most of you would probably think कि अब मैं 10 लाख में से 3,50,000 तो माइनस करूंगा ही, पर मैं 40,000 भी माइनस करूंगा क्योंकि वो डायरेक्ट वेजेस है. But 40,000 is 3,50,000 में already incorporated है. So
Yes.
there will probably be various questions जहाँ पे आपको confuse करने के लिए elements ऐसे दिए जाएंगे, but please understand जब आपको पूरा cost of goods sold दिया है तो आप क्यों लोगे ना डायरेक्ट वेजेस को. अगर यहाँ पे फॉर इंस्टेंस लिखा होता परचेज एक्सपेंस तो आप क्या करते, आप करते 10 लाख माइनस 3,50,000 माइनस 40,000, राइट, क्योंकि तब आपके पास पूरा कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड नहीं था. सो दिस वाज द कैच दैट आप इसको नहीं सब्ट्रैक्ट करोगे. तो यस, ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट इज 6,50,000 and gross profit margin ratio will be 65%, right? Everybody is there, guys? किसी को कोई कंफ्यूजन है? अगर आपको 40,000 माइनस करा है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, बट just remember कि वो नहीं करना. It's absolutely fine if you guys have done it. Have you all solved it or should I wait for 2-3 more seconds? Everybody has done it? Okay. Ma'am, okay, Isha, I'm just showing you the Excel. You can write it down. Your gross profit, if you want me to solve it, will be nothing but 10 lakh minus 3,50,000, which is 6,50,000, and your gross profit ratio will be nothing but this divided by 10 lakhs into 100. Sorry. Everybody's understood? Guys, anyone has any confusion? Please show Excel. Okay, Isha, let me know once you've written everything down, then I'll proceed further. Okay, now I'm giving you another question, guys. Can you all please calculate? Can you all tell me the answer?
Ma'am, gross profit will be 1 lakh.
Okay, guys, even I'll have to calculate it, but let me check. Yes, you're absolutely right. Gross profit will be 1 lakh, and your gross profit ratio will be 1 lakh divided by. Guys, are we on the same page? Yes. Is everybody on the same page? Okay. So now the next ratio that we are going to talk about is nothing but the operating profit margin ratio. तो अब आपने समझ लिया कि हमारे रेवेन्यू में से मैंने आप देखो ना मैं व्हाई आई रोट दिस पर्टिकुलर मैंने ये आपके लिए जो शीट बनी है ये आपको ये सारे रेशियोज में इसलिए हेल्प करेगी कि देखो अब हमने ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट रेशियो निकाल लिया कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड सब्ट्रैक्ट करके अब हम जा रहे हैं हमारे ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट ऑपरेटिंग वर्ड से आपको क्या समझ आता है जो ऑपरेशन से रिलेटेड हो ऑलराइट सो ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन रेशियो इज एक्चुअली नथिंग बट कि कितना रेवेन्यू बचा है बाकी ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस को कवर करने के लिए ऑलराइट मेरा ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन रेशियो का फॉर्मूला विल बी नथिंग बट ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट डिवाइडेड बाय सेल्स इनटू 100 तो दिस इज नथिंग बट कि कितना रेवेन्यू बचा अब आफ्टर दिस रेशियो कोई मुझे बता सकता है इस रेशियो के बाद क्या एक्सपेंसेस कवर करने के लिए रेवेन्यू बचेगा या नहीं बचेगा मतलब व्हाट विल यू वांट टू व्हाट इज लेफ्ट टू कवर बाय द रेवेन्यू आफ्टर योर कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड एंड योर ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस इट विल बी योर नॉन ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस ऑलराइट so I'm going to give you an example
And once again.
So your operating profit margin ratio does nothing but calculate the amount of operating profit that a company has generated by subtracting your operating expenses. Operating का क्या मतलब आपके operation से relating. Gross profit में हमने सिर्फ उन expenses को cover किया था जो आपके cost of goods sold से relate करते थे. Operating में क्या आ जाते देखो अब आपके इतने सारे एक्सपेंसेस हैं जैसे कि अब मैंने आपको मार्केटिंग बोला था या कमीशन बोला था ये सारे एक्सपेंसेस आपके ऑपरेशन से रिलेटेड चाहे डायरेक्टली मेरे गारमेंट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में मेरा गारमेंट मैन्युफैक्चर करने के लिए वो एक्सपेंस मार्केटिंग और कमीशन इज नॉट रिलेटेड टू इट बट उसको बेचने के लिए तो इम्पोर्टेंट है ना अगर मैं उसको मैन्युफैक्चर करके क्या रखूँ रख के थोड़ी बैठी रहूंगी द आइडिया इज टू सेल इट राइट सो दीज एक्सपेंसेस जो ये आपके बाकी एक्सपेंसेस जो शायद आपके डायरेक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग से रिलेटेड नहीं है बट दे आर स्टिल रिलेटेड टू योर ऑपरेशंस आर दोज कॉस्ट व्हिच आर कवर्ड बाय योर ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन रेशियो राइट सो हियर यू हैव योर नेट सेल्स व्हिच आर अगेन से 10,000 माना 10 lakh your COGS cost of goods sold guys I'm saying COGS is cost of goods sold your rent is 15,000 your other operating expenses are 25,000. Can anyone tell me what is your operating profit margin ratio?
%46.
Guys, everybody has got 46%. Guys, everybody is on the same page. Why only 2-3 people are answering? Where are the others? I'm giving you another example. Your operating profit ratio here will be that your yes, so it's 46%. I'm giving you another example. Here you have sales from selling sales revenue, stationery, which is say 150,000. You have production cost, say 50,000. For general and admin expense is 50,000. Your tax expense is 12,000. Your interest expense on bank loan is 10,000. What is your operating profit ratio? Can you all please tell me? मैं आपके लिए फिर से आपको दिखा रही हूँ and then you will tell me what is your operating profit margin ratio. Can you all tell me?
It's 28%. No, not 28. 18.66%.
Everybody else is Akanksha. Here is the example 2 amounts. I hope you've written it down. Can you all please tell me what is your operating profit ratio? Can you tell me what will be your operating profit margin ratio in this? आपको if example 4 का आंसर किस what was the answer of example 5? ईशा example 5 तो मैंने अभी लिखा है. The answer of example 4 is nothing but minus this minus your admin expense minus divided by your sales into 100. Guys, have you all reached this answer or is there some confusion? Guys, Sahil, you said it's 18%. It's not 18% because your interest expense is not an operating expense.
No, I thought you asked for net operating profit ratio.
Okay, all right, all right.
मैम इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंसेस ऑन बैंक लोन ये तो नहीं आएगा?
Yeah, I have not subtracted that. See, I have just subtracted sales revenue
Exactly,
minus
so-
production. अब मैं आपका अगर ये एग्जाम्पल थोड़ा चेंज कर दूं ना, मैं बोलूँ रेवेन्यू ऑफ, तो आप मुझे बताओगे ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट रेशियो कैसे चेंज हो जाएगा?
मैम रेवेन्यू बैंक आएगा ही नहीं फिर.
क्यों नहीं आएगा? इफ दिस इज द बैंक, बैंक के ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट रेशियो
आ जाएगा.
कैलकुलेट नहीं होता?
हाँ, ओके. तब इंटरेस्ट ऑन बैंक लोन तो फिर आएगा ही ना मैम, बिकॉज वो बैंक का कहीं ना कहीं इंटरेस्ट अर्न हो रहा है.
यस, एग्जैक्टली. सो इस केस में आपका यहाँ पे इंटरेस्ट माइनस होगा. क्यों माइनस होगा? क्योंकि आपका हम बैंक के लिए बात कर रहे हैं, तो बैंक का तो इनकम और मेन एक्सपेंस ही इंटरेस्ट वगैरह से होता है, राइट? सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, हमेशा अपने कंपनी के मेन ऑपरेशंस भी देख लेना जब आपके पास ऐसे क्वेश्चंस आएंगे. नाउ कैन यू ऑल टेल मी व्हाट इज योर ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन रेशियो इन दिस? How will you calculate your revenue? How will you calculate your operating margin ratio? Guys, can you all tell me?
Revenue is sum of cost and gross profit.
Yes, so everybody knows that gross profit was your revenue minus COGS. So your revenue will be COGS plus gross profit, which will be 76,420. Your operating profit margin ratio will be nothing but this, or you can say directly gross profit minus your other operating costs divided by your revenue into 100, which is 6.3%. Guys, any confusion? Guys, always remember what was gross profit. Gross profit was revenue minus or sales minus cost of goods sold. So what will your revenue be? Your revenue will be gross profit plus your cost of goods sold. All right. So now I want to tell you one thing कि जब भी आपका से आपका रेशियो is 6% या आपका रेशियो होता कोई भी 36%, 40%, whatever, जो भी आपका से ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन रेशियो फॉर एग्जांपल आता है 40%, तो इसका मतलब कि हर एक रुपए में 60 सेंट्स जो बचते हैं. Guys, are you, for example, it was 40%, it would mean that 64 cents on every rupee of sales is basically used to pay for your operating expenses, मतलब आपके पास सिर्फ 40 सेंट्स रहते हैं अपने नॉन ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस को कवर करने के लिए. All right. Now, next ratio that I'm going to talk about is your net profit margin ratio, which we have already discussed while we were discussing DuPont analysis. It is nothing but net profit divided by sales into 100. It actually covers all the remaining expenses, whether you're non-operating. आपका net profit margin ratio सब कुछ cover करता है. Cost of goods sold, operating, non-operating expenses, and it is actually the most useful ratio to compare profitability with, companies in the same industry, or whether it is with your past performance, whether it is with your competitors. So this is a very, very important ratio. I have another example for you guys. Say if my total sales are 5,20,000, my net profit is 40,000, and my sales return is 20,000. So what is my net profit ratio? Can anyone tell me? Can anyone tell me what is my net profit margin ratio?
%8.
Okay. I have not calculated, but yes, it is
8%.
40,000 divided by 5 lakhs. 200. Yes. अब अगर मुझे एक बात बताओ, अगर मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा होता नेट सेल्स, तो मेरा रेशियो क्या होता?
4/52.
मेरा रेशियो क्या सेम रहता? Can you tell me इस केस में मेरा रेशियो सेम रहेगा?
No, it would change.
मैम डिफरेंट होगा.
How will it change?
सेल्स रिटर्न इसमें से माइनस नहीं होगा फिर.
Yes. So in this case, it will be 40,000 divided by 5,20,000 into 100, which is 7.69%. So guys, I'll tell you क्या होता है, तुम्हें concepts आते तो होते हैं, but ऐसी छोटी छोटी चीजें ना question solve करते हुए मिस हो जाती हैं. वो तो आपको अभी इसलिए दिख गया क्योंकि मैंने अभी पहले वैसे लिखा था और अब आपको बोला कि अब क्या चेंज है. पर जब आपके पास एक क्वेश्चन में बहुत सारे एलिमेंट्स होते हैं और बहुत सारे रेशियोज दिए होते हैं ना, तब these small things get missed out. तो इन चीजों के बारे में हमेशा प्लीज रिमेंबर, दे आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, इससे आपके क्वेश्चंस गलत हो जाते हैं. गाइस, नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट रिटर्न रेशियोज. रिटर्न इज नथिंग बट एनुअल रिटर्न या क्वार्टरली रिटर्न, कैसे एक यूनिट ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट में कितनी रिटर्न किस फॉर्म में मिलती है. सो अंडर रिटर्न रेशियो वी आर गोइंग टू टॉक अबाउट रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी, वी आर टॉक अबाउट रिटर्न ऑन एसेट्स, and we're going to talk about return on capital employed. All right. Return on equity, guys, we've already spoken about it, but I'll still repeat. It is nothing but profit after tax divided by your equity share capital that is invested in a company. All right. So it actually measures the ability of a firm to generate profit for the equity shareholders. Can you all tell me the difference between equity and preference shareholders? फर्क क्या है? Why are they different? Yeah, tell me.
Can I try, ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am, preference shareholders have a fixed rate of dividend, which has to be paid by the company at the end of every year. Also, they do not have any voting rights, and they are in priority to the common shareholders.
Yes.
These are
So
the
अगर
three
आप
major
preference,
difference.
अगर आप ना, so मेरा ना बहुत simple logic है of understanding something कि आप उस चीज को नाम से interpret करो. जैसे ये preference है, तो preference का क्या मतलब? Something that is given preference over another thing. So what is the preference that is given to preference shareholders over equity shareholders? It is the fact that preference shareholders will get dividend over equity shareholders, which will be a fixed amount. And in case the company is diluted or wound up, in that case also, before equity shareholders are paid anything, उससे पहले preference shareholders को pay किया जाता है. All right. Guys, in case you're thinking कि हमने कुछ slides cover नहीं करी, I have covered all of these slides with you, wherein I've spoken about gross profit and operating and net profit margin ratio. I am now at your return ratios, where I am talking about return on equity. When we go on return on assets, I have already explained how efficient utilization of asset is very important for a company, and return on asset is nothing but an indicator of how profitable a company is in comparison to its assets. Alright, कि एक मैनेजमेंट कितनी अर्निंग जनरेट कर पा रही है अपने एसेट्स को एफिशिएंटली यूटिलाइज करके. गाइस प्लीज कीप राइटिंग डाउन द फॉर्मूला. आपको पता है बहुत सारी कंपनीज हैं, से दे विल, व्हाई विल दे बी इंटरेस्टेड इन दिस रेशियो? से मेरे को एक नई इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी है एक पर्टिकुलर एसेट में, तो दिस रेशियो विल हेल्प मी अंडरस्टैंड कि मैं अपने करंट सिस्टम और न्यू सिस्टम में कितनी मेरी अर्निंग्स चेंज हुई आफ्टर इन्वेस्टमेंट. Alright, so these ratios also help in making expansion decisions of a company. या फिर से अगर उनको से दे आर a particular department or a particular division is not performing well, जब हम उनके ratios calculate करते हैं, हम understand करते हैं कि उनके assets effectively utilize ही नहीं हो रहे हैं. So these are the kind of ratios which are very important for firms. Alright, so the formula is nothing but I will give you an example. Say मेरी एक कंपनी है which is say a construction company. मेरा opening balance of assets is say 10 lakh. Say my closing balance of assets is 20 lakh. And my net income is say 30 lakhs. Can you all tell me what is my return on assets? This actually explains कि हर रुपये of investment in asset में कितनी return मिलती है. Can you all please tell me? जैसे return on equity में हम आती है मेरी return on equity, तो इसका मतलब कि for every 1 rupee that I have invested in a company, मुझे 5.5 की return हो रही है. So likewise, जब हम return on assets की बात करते हैं, we want to understand कि कितनी return हुई on our investment of assets.
Ma'am, 50%.
Okay, I have not calculated, but yes, it will be the average of assets. So yes, it will be 50%. Absolutely right. Before I proceed to return on capital employed, can anybody tell me return capital employed का मतलब? What is the meaning of capital employed? Can anyone tell me?
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Ma'am,
Yes.
example 7.
Somebody is
Example
saying,
7.
please. Yeah, I'll just calculate it for you. It's 50%. And guys, return is not in percentage, it is in time. So it is 0.5 times. Or actually, you can say it is 50%. Can anyone tell me capital employed? हमने बात करी कि working capital वो capital होता है जो day to day operations के लिए बहुत important होता है. आप मुझे बताओगे capital employed क्या होता है? फर्क क्या है capital employed और working capital में?
And
Can anyone tell me?
capital employed is the long-term sources of finance which are invested in the business for running for purchase of fixed assets and for for the company to work on its objectives.
So basically layman term में capital employed होता है सारे funds जो एक company में employed है, ठीक है? Which is basically which can be your equity or it can be your debenture, it can be your preference share capital. It is basically the total amount of funds that are employed in a particular company. कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड दो तरीकों से कैलकुलेट होता है. एक तो होता है आपकी इक्विटी प्लस योर लॉन्ग टर्म लाइबिलिटीज, वो आपकी जो फंडिंग है एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी में, या फिर वो होता है टोटल एसेट्स माइनस करंट लाइबिलिटीज. बिकॉज द लॉजिक रिमेन्स द सेम कि आपने अपनी शॉर्ट टर्म लाइबिलिटीज हटा दी, उसको छोड़ के आपके जितने भी फंड्स एम्प्लॉयड है दैट इज योर कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड. So how do you calculate your return on capital employed? It is nothing but EBIT, which is your earning before interest and taxes divided by your capital employed. ये एक फाइनेंशियल रेशियो है जो ये देखता है कि कितनी हमारी EBIT इन कंपैरिजन टू हमारे जो फंड्स एम्प्लॉयड है, जो हमारा कैपिटल इन्वेस्टेड है, कितनी अर्निंग हुई उसमें. ऑलराइट, so I'll just make you guys write down the formula first. Can you all note down the formula, please? Guys, don't worry, we'll do questions in detail for every ratio. So आप वो अभी don't think कि आपके दिमाग से ये सब चला जाएगा. We'll do questions, so it'll retain in your mind then. So I have an example for you guys. If you have noted it down. Have you all noted down the formula? Guys, I hope you noted down the formula. मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल दे रही हूँ. What is my return on capital employed? Guys, this time I don't want Sahil to answer. I want someone else to answer. Okay, Angsha, don't worry. We'll do example 3 and example 4 together. Can you all tell me what is the answer to this question? Guys, इतनी देर नहीं लगनी चाहिए. It's a 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes per question. Anyone apart from Sahil?
%25%.
Okay. And me also calculated. I have also not calculated it.
I think I'm wrong.
That's okay. As long as you know where you go wrong. No, guys, that's not correct. Did you guys get the formula? Guys, EBIT तो मैंने आपको दे दिया ना 1 लाख. उसमें तो आपको कुछ कैलकुलेट नहीं करना है. आपका कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड कैसे कैलकुलेट होगा? बिल्स पेबल इज अ करंट लायबिलिटी. पहले मैं यहाँ पे करंट लायबिलिटी लिखने वाली थी, पर मैंने बिल्स पेबल इसीलिए लिखा ताकि आपको कंफ्यूजन हो. So what is my capital employed? My capital employed is 75,000. So it is nothing but 1 lakh divided by 75,000. Got it? Have you all got it?
मैंने
Guys,
गलती से
any
माइनस कर दिया था.
confusion? No problem. अच्छा, मेरे को कोई बोला था एग्जाम्पल 3. आकांक्षा, आई थिंक यू वर आस्किंग कि आपको एग्जाम्पल 3 और एग्जाम्पल 4 में कुछ है डाउट. हाँ जी. So in example 3, we are calculating the operating profit margin ratio. So I have the sales which are 10 lakhs. मैंने cost of goods sold subtract कर दिया तो मेरा gross profit आ गया. पर मुझे operating profit margin ratio calculate करना है, इसलिए मैंने rent और other operating expense minus किया और उसको divide कर दिया net sales से. Can you tell me आपको confusion कहाँ हो रही है इसमें? आकांक्षा? ओके. अब मैं आपको एक और चीज इसमें बता दूं. अगर मैं इसमें लिखती ना ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस, तो आप क्या करते? आप इसमें रेंट मेरा माइनस नहीं करते. गॉट इट? क्योंकि उसमें मतलब होता है कि रेंट ऑलरेडी इंक्लूडेड है. आकांक्षा, हैव यू गॉट कि 46 कैसे आया? ओके. नाउ यू वांट एग्जांपल 4. आकांक्षा, मैंने ना ये बाद में बैंक चेंज कर दिया था. उससे पहले मैंने आपको एग्जांपल कोई और दिया था. मे बी आपका इसलिए अलग आ रहा होगा.
मैम
अभी ये
एग्जांपल
बैंक के लिए लिया है तो मैंने बैंक का एक एक करके गाइस लेट्स कम टू एग्जांपल 5 और एग्जांपल 4 कर देते हैं. आकांक्षा, मैंने क्या किया था, जब मैंने एग्जांपल में इसमें लिखा कि ये बैंक का रेवेन्यू है, तो मतलब कि रेवेन्यू माइनस आपका स्टेशनरी एडमिन एक्सपेंस तो हो ही गया, बट वी सब्ट्रैक्टेड इंटरेस्ट एक्सपेंस ऑल्सो, क्योंकि बैंक के तो मेन ऑपरेशंस ही इंटरेस्ट रिलेटेड है ना. So then interest expense will become an operating expense for a bank. That is, I have subtracted interest expense. हो सकता है आपने interest expense ना subtract किया हो, इसका आंसर different आ रहा हो. Yes. Okay. हाँ जी, एग्जाम्पल 5 में हम क्या कर रहे थे? ओके, सो एवरीबडी नोज कि ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट कैसे कैलकुलेट होता है. इट इज रेवेन्यू माइनस कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स सोल्ड, which is nothing but revenue will be what? Your gross profit plus cost of goods sold. इस फॉर्मूला को से मुझे अगर रेवेन्यू निकालना है तो रेवेन्यू कैसे निकलेगा? COGS प्लस ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट, और मैंने वही तो यहाँ पे किया है. इट इज 34,390 प्लस 42,030. दिस इज माई रेवेन्यू. माई ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन रेशियो को मैंने क्या किया है? व्हाट इज योर ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट? इट इज योर ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट माइनस योर ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस. अगर आपको रेवेन्यू से माइनस करके निकालने हैं तो वो भी कर सकते हो, सेम चीज आएगी, सेम लॉजिक होगा. मैंने बस ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट से ऑपरेटिंग कॉस्ट माइनस करे हैं and then I've come to divide it with my revenue which is 76,420 into 100. अगर आपको ऐसे करके देखना है तो आप ऐसे करके देख लो जैसे आप हमेशा करते हैं. Revenue minus your cost of goods sold minus your operating expenses divided by your revenue into 100. Same logic आएगा. Got it? मैंने ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट से ऑपरेटिंग एक्सपेंसेस माइनस करें, बात एक ही है. आपको ये शीट्स हैव अ ब्लूप्रिंट ऑफ दिस इन योर माइंड. आपके लिए ये प्रॉफिटेबिलिटी रेशियोज बहुत ज्यादा इजी हो जाएंगे फिर. Aksha, do you have any doubt? I can go and do this all over again अगर आपको कोई डाउट आ रहा है. Guys, I'm trying to go very very slow. अगर आपको कोई भी इशू आ रहा है आप प्लीज मेरे को बताओ. Akanksha, is it solved? Ma'am, please explain example 8. Okay, what is your example 8? Okay. So guys, पहले हमने बात करी कि कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड क्या होते हैं. फंड्स एम्प्लॉयड होते हैं एक पर्टिकुलर कंपनी में. कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड कैसे कैलकुलेट हो सकता है? 2 वेज में, विच इज योर टोटल एसेट्स माइनस योर करंट लायबिलिटीज, जैसे यहाँ, राइट? या फिर योर इक्विटी प्लस योर लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटीज, राइट? लॉजिक सेम कैसे है? क्योंकि आपके में जो इक्विटी प्लस लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटीज की फंडिंग है जिसमें करंट लायबिलिटीज नहीं है, विच विल ऑलवेज बी इक्वल टू योर टोटल एसेट्स माइनस करंट लायबिलिटीज. बिकॉज अगर आप करंट लायबिलिटीज हटा दोगे तो आपके पास बचेगा वो ही जो आपके इनसे फंडेड है. सो दिस विल ऑलवेज रिमेन द सेम. सो हाउ डिड यू कैलकुलेट योर रिटर्न ऑन कैपिटल एम्प्लॉयड? आपके पास EBIT तो था ही, उसमें आपको कुछ कैलकुलेट नहीं करना पड़ा. तो आपने क्या किया? आपने ये 1 लाख लिया, आपने उसको डिवाइड किया टोटल एसेट्स माइनस योर करंट लायबिलिटीज. करंट लायबिलिटी में आपका बिल्स पेबल आता है, राइट?
Hello, ma'am.
Any confusion? Yes,
Hello, ma'am.
please tell me. हाँ जी
Ma'am, can we
बताइए.
use the term long-term borrowing in place of long-term liabilities?
ओके, यस यू कैन. बट आप इतना याद रखना कि मैं जब लॉन्ग टर्म लायबिलिटी बोलती हूँ मैं अपने प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर्स वगैरह को इंक्लूड कर रही हूँ इसमें. प्रेफरेंस शेयर होल्डर is not exactly a borrowing for me. It is a liability, long-term liability for me, for the company, but it is not exactly a borrowing. Got it?
But ma'am,
So
the
if you
long-term
understand,
liability will
आपको,
also. Sorry, please go ahead.
sorry, what are you saying?
Ma'am, but the term long-term
मेरे
liability will
fund
include
में
my.
it will include your debentures, it will include your long-term bank borrowings, it will include your preference shareholders.
That's what I mean. But
Basically,
long-term
आपके
liability would also include pension obligations and deferred tax liability. So, long-term borrowing could be the better word.
it would include anything that is, it would include any obligation that is long-term, Sahil. Anything that is not short-term liability for you. Anything that exceeds 12 months for your company to repay.
So the deferred
That
tax
is a
liability will also
long-term
be
liability for you. That will be included in it.
So the deferred tax liability will also be included in capital employed. Deferred tax liability.
Yes, if it is a long term, yes, it will be included. The only thing that will not be included is your current liability. All right. And what is the difference between your current and long term liability? It is the difference of duration in that is
Note and
given to
value.
a particular company in repaying that particular. Yes. All right. Great, Akanksha. Great, Isha. So, guys, I have to start with activity ratios, but 9:50 already हो गए हैं, and I don't want to start क्योंकि ये सारे कराने में मेरे को time लग जाएगा, and I don't want to take up one ratio and then stop. So tomorrow we are going to start with activity ratios. I hope you guys are satisfied with the session. आप लोगों को कोई ऐसे मुझे inputs देने हैं, or if you feel that I am going too fast or I am going too slow, please let me know. I hope you guys were satisfied today.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So guys, tomorrow we will meet at 8 p.m. and then we will start from activity ratios. I hope whatever I taught you guys आप लोग को वो याद रहेगा. हम कल, if not tomorrow, but जब हमारे after the ratios, after I finish all the ratios that I want to teach you, मैं आपको बहुत सारे questions कराऊंगी so that your concepts become clear. Okay.
Ma'am, I just have a doubt.
Thanks,
on
Isha.
something.
Yeah. Tell me.
मैम जैसे आपने ड्यू पॉइंट एनालिसिस कराया था मैम, जहाँ तक मैंने पढ़ा एक ड्यू पॉइंट के अलावा भी एक्सटेंडेड ड्यू पॉइंट होता है. सो
क्या
कैन
होता
यू
है?
जस्ट ब्रीफ एक्सटेंडेड ड्यू पॉइंट एनालिसिस भी होता है, like breaking up the three part
Extended
into yeah 5-point analysis.
Extended dew
Five
point
step
analysis.
हाँ मैम 5-step ड्यू पॉइंट
Five,
जिसको बोलते हैं.
5-step dew point analysis.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
what are the 2 other steps in dew point analysis?
मैम वही तो समझना है. समवेयर लाइक जहाँ तक मुझे याद है मैम, अर्निंग बिफोर टैक्सेस में फिर सेल्स का कुछ इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहता है, तो उस हिसाब से लाइक इक्विटी सेल्स दैट आई वांटेड टू अंडरस्टैंड मैम. जो एक्सटेंडेड होता है तो वो एक बार मुझे समझना था कि हाउ टू यूज दैट.
So even if it is extended, it will be only calculating वही ratios जो मैं आपको सारे करा रही हूँ. Beyond these ratios, your dew point will not cover any other ratio. आपका 5 step ये हो सकता है कि आपके profitability जो ये आपका net profit margin ratio है या जो भी XYZ ratio है, उसको और 2-3 ratios में break down कर दे. Got what I'm trying to say?
ओके.
जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल आपका एसेट टर्नओवर रेशियो उसको 2 और पॉइंट्स में कर दिया, विच इज योर वर्किंग कैप एंड योर फिक्स्ड एसेट्स टर्नओवर रेशियो. सो you can further divide these things into various ratios which I'm going to cover in the session, and you can call it 5-step or 20-step ratio, but return on equity was divided into these 3 elements only. Yes, अब आप इनको और डिवाइड करना चाहो कि मैंने एसेट टर्नओवर को वर्किंग कैप भी कर दिया, फिक्स्ड एसेट भी कर दिया, मैंने फाइनेंशियल लीवरेज में भी बहुत सारे सॉल्वेंसी एटसेट्रा रेशियोज डाल दिए, वो सारे रेशियोज हम सेशन में करेंगे और आप उसको 20 स्टेप ड्यू पॉइंट भी बोल सकते हो. बट रिटर्न ऑन इक्विटी का प्राइमरी फॉर्मूला वाज डिवाइडेड ओनली इनटू 3 एलिमेंट्स बाय ड्यू पॉइंट.
ओके मैम.
Alright, okay. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody. See you tomorrow. Guys, tomorrow we'll start with activity ratios. एक बार just keep revising the formulas that we did today, because आपको by the end of the session, which will be a total, I think कल और 2 घंटे, and then we'll have 4 more hours of this. So in total आपके पास इतने सारे ratios हो जाएंगे that you'll get confused. इसलिए better है आप every 2-hour session के बाद इनको revise कर लो. Alright? Take care. See you tomorrow, guys. Bye.
Bye.